Let's get into the 1991 Chicago Bulls. It's their 20th season, 1990-91 Bulls, 25th season. Let's break down this season that the Bulls had. It's their first championship season, their 25th season. This team that they acquired Dennis Hobson from the New Jersey Nets and signed free agent Cliff Livingston. Phil Jackson obviously was the coach. They was able to win the championship, obviously, finally getting over that hump, getting past the Pistons. They didn't get off to the best start. They got off to a slow start. They lost their first 3 games. It was 5-6. And they recovered out a 7-game winning streak between November and December. And then posted another 7-game winning streak in January. Like 32-14. It was posted an 11-game winning streak between February and March. Then posted a 9-game winning streak in March, finishing in first place in the Central Division with a 61-21 record. That surpassed the 1971-72 season. They had the no 1 seed. The team qualified for the playoffs for the 7th consecutive year. Also, widely regarded as one of the greatest teams of all time. The Bulls had the best team offensive rating, 7th best team defensive rating. Michael Jordan won another scoring title, averaging 31.5 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 2.7 steals per game, and won a second NBA Most Valuable Player of the Year award. He was also first team NBA and all NBA first team as far as like defensive. Same thing with Pippen. Pippen was an all defensive second team, averaging 17.8 points a game, 7.3 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 2.4 steals per game. Horace Grant had averaged 12.8 points a game, 8.4 rebounds a game. Bill Cartwright averaged 9.6 points a game, 6.2 rebounds a game. So this team was loaded. Man, they was loaded. They had a very good bench. This team was definitely destined to win it all. They beat the Knicks, swept them, no surprise there. 41-point blowout. And then they won by 10 points in game 2. Then they won 103-94 in New York. Then they won in 5 games against Philadelphia 76ers. And they lost 1 game. That was 99-97. Then they swept the Pistons in their reign as defending champions. Thanks for the 8 people tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. 13 people are watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like the content. They faced the Pistons before they're no rivals. Beating star trio of Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman, and going to the finals. Winning 115-94. Then they beat the Lakers, led by Magic Johnson, Byron Scott, and James Worthy. Beat them in 5 games, handled their business. They beat the star of a dynasty. Simple as that. Winning that series. Thanks for hitting the like button. Subscribe to the channel. They finished 4th in the NBA in home game attendance with an attendance of 757,745 at the Chicago Stadium during the regular season. So this is the best of times for the Bulls, man. The Bulls haven't been the same since the Jordan era. Just be honest with the situation. Like, they had a little success when Derrick Rose was healthy. They made it to the conference finals back in 2011. But they haven't been the same since. He won an MVP, made it to the conference finals, lost to the Heat, obviously with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. He lost that series, but since then, the Bulls have not had that much success compared to what the Bulls had in the 90s, winning 6 championships in 8 years, and that was just a dominant run by the Bulls. And the 91 season got everything started, 35 years ago. They got everything started. Bulls ready, man. Michael Jordan was hungry for a championship. They handled their business. Again, they lost that first game against LA. Again, Magic and Michael. That was the NBA Finals of that time during that period. And that was one of the all-time matchups, but it didn't live up to the hype. It was a 5-game series. And they lost the first game, 93-91. And then game two, highlight obviously with the switching the hands that Jordan did, going, catching the ball from, I think it was Cliff Livingston. They put the ball on the ground, on the floor, and just went up. He could have just went up for a dunk. He decided, switch hands and hang in the air. And so, and both shot 61.7% from the field. That was a finals record. Then game three, this game went to overtime. Jordan sent the game to overtime with a pull-up jumper with 3.4 seconds to go. Thanks for the 14 people liking and watching. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Got one person like the button. Hit the like button. 19 people tuning in. So you subscribe to the channel. And then, game five, Lakers were facing elimination. Now, Worthy and Scott wasn't there because there was no hurt. This would not stop Magic Johnson, as Johnson had 20 assists in the game, but it wasn't enough. Elton Kenway scored Michael Jordan with 13 points in the first half, but it wasn't enough. The Lakers still fought, even led 93-90 in the fourth quarter, but John Paxson had 10 points in the first half, the fourth quarter, helped win this title, and Bulls won the championship, 108-101, on their way to a dynasty. And rightfully so, it's the perfect time, Magic, had retired due to what he had to deal with AIDS and all that. He was still on top of his game. He had won an MVP in 1990. Matter of fact, he had won 3 of the last 5 MVPs that took place during that time, from 87 to 91. He had won 3 of them. So Magic was one of the top 2 players in the game, as he went to the 90s. Just that once he had that situation off the court, then Bird, he retires in 92. It was Jordan's league. You knew it was going to be his league. He knew he was going to get the advantage because of who he was. And the Bulls ready to dominate. Pippen was coming to his own during that season in 91. And that's how they became what they were. That 1-2 punch. He was able to be champions for 6 times during the 90s. Yes, Jordan gets all the credit. And he deserves it. But Pippen was great, man. Pippen was great. He was that perfect second banana to Jordan. And then you look at Horace Grant. He's very successful as a rebounder, a scorer. Guy could do a lot of things in the front court. And look at B.J. Armstrong. He can knock down shots. John Paxson always had a knack knock down shots. Greg Hodges. So he had a lot of talent. A lot of guys that can knock down shots. I think from that standpoint. So they had a very good team, a great team around Jordan. You just need that superstar just to carry that load. And Pippen started coming to his own. So there was never a drop-off. So you knew the Bulls was coming. They were coming. They were on the verge. They were hungry. They was able to win a championship. So that's it for this short live feed. Thanks for the person hitting the like button. Thanks for those who tuned in. Be back at 2 o'clock for another live feed. Until then, talk to you soon.